Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast Special Edition Series, where I go over each and every 2024 NCAA Men's Basketball College Tournament. This is going to be the 9th of 32 shows, and this will be the WCC, the West Coast Conference. This is always a good one. It'll be held at the Orleans Arena in Paradise, Nevada. The first round matchup will be on Thursday, second round Friday, quarterfinals Saturday, semifinals on Monday, and the final will be Tuesday, March 12th. So, like we do, we go over all the teams and the seedings, then we do the bracket, then we do all the other fun stuff. So, let's go over the seedings real quick. Your 1 seed this year, you're currently ranked 23rd, St. Mary's Gales, 24-7 overall, 15-1 in conference play. Your 2 seed, currently ranked 19th in the country, the Gonzaga Bulldogs, 24-6 overall, 14-2 in conference play. 3 seed, the San Francisco Dons, 22-9 overall, 11-5 in conference play. Your 4 seed, the Santa Clara Broncos, 19-12 overall, 10-6 in conference play. Your 5 seed, the San Diego Toreros, 17-14 overall, 7-9 in conference play. Your 6 seed, the Portland Pilots, 11-20 overall, 5-11 in conference play. Your 7 seed, the Loyola Marymount Lions, 12-18 overall, 5-11 in conference play. Your 8 seed, the Pepperdine Waves, 12-19 overall, 5-11 in conference play. And your 9 seed, the Pacific Tigers, 6-25 overall, 0-16 in conference play. So without further ado, here we go. Your lone first round game on Thursday, March 7th. 9 seed Pacific, 8 seed Pepperdine. 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. So Pepperdine's disappointing. They obviously got rid of its coach, Lorenzo Romar. I don't know if he's coaching in this game, but he's fired. But they have a really good player in Michael Ajayi, who averages over 17 a game. And Pacific is just a joke. No wins in conference play. Nobody averaging over double figures a game. I have Pepperdine 7.8, total 147-310, so therefore I have Pepperdine advancing. Second round, Friday, March 8th, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. 8 seed Pepperdine against 5 seed San Diego. San Diego surprised a lot of people this year in this league. They really have come so far. They have someone averaging almost 16 a game in Deuce Turner. But I do think that Pepperdine could keep that close. I have San Diego 1.6, so I'm going to advance San Diego. In your second of 2 second-round games, 7 seed Loyola Marymount and 6 seed Portland. Marymount, to me, is a team that underachieved this season as a whole. They're a deep team. Dominic Harris missed time with an injury, but he's back. He's their best player, arguably. Although Alex McVildes is a good player himself, so they have a big 2 that they can rely on. And then Portland, I feel like, was a little better from a seeding standpoint than I thought they were going to be. They have a good player in Tyler Robertson, averaging 16.5 per game. And does it really all for them. But I actually do have Marymount favored 2 3/4, so 146 2/5. So I'm going to advance Marymount in an upset there. Quarterfinals, Saturday, March 9th, 10 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. 5 seed San Diego and 4 seed Santa Clara. Santa Clara has produced good talent into the NBA over the past several years, most notably Jalen Williams of the Thunder. But they have a really good player in Adama Ball, does Santa Clara. San Diego has some talent, as we talked about earlier. I project Santa Clara to a 4 1/4 favorite, so I'm going to advance Santa Clara. In the second of 4 quarterfinal games, that'll be 11:30 Eastern on ESPN2. You have 7 seed Loyola Marymount, and 3 seed San Francisco. The Dons have been good in conference play. I thought they had a chance in an at-large. I put them in my mock bracket, but that obviously wasn't the case. And that won't be the case. Jonathan Mogbo, double-double machine for San Francisco. I project San Francisco by 8 over Marymount, so I'm going to advance them. And in the 2 semifinal games, the first one, 4 seed Santa Clara, 1 seed St. Mary's, 9 Eastern on ESPN. St. Mary's only lost 1 conference game all season, which was on Saturday against Gonzaga. No shame in losing Gonzaga, although they were home. They beat Gonzaga earlier in the year. This team's going to the tournament. They have a lot of good players. They're deep. Aiden Mahaney is a really good player. He does a lot for this team, and so does Augustus Marcelonis. I do project St. Mary's favored 7.6, so I'm going to advance St. Mary's. In the second of 2 semifinals, 3 seed San Francisco, 2 seed Gonzaga at 11:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Gonzaga, there was a period where for a little bit it looked like that they weren't going to make the tournament or be a bubble team, but they rallied and now they're back to being who they are. I bet on them at 23-1 to make the Final Four, but that's down to 19-1 as we saw today. They're a deep team too. Graham Ike's a really good player for them. Almost 17 a game, over 7 boards a game. And they have a lot of other depth as well. Ryan Nemhard, who's still there. Anton Watson. And Nolan Hickman. So this is a deep team at Gonzaga. I project Gonzaga 4.5 over San Francisco, so I'm going to advance Gonzaga. And in the final, 2 seed Gonzaga, 1 seed St. Mary's. What a matchup. Mark Few, Randy Bennett, the best rivalry in the WCC, hands down. It's going to be a lot of fun. You have Ike, Watson, Hickman, Nemhard on one side. And on the other side, you have Mahaney, Marcelonis, and Mitchell Saxon, who's a good big guy, and Josh Jefferson. But yeah, these 2 teams are both really deep. But I think the best player on the floor is Ike, who's the big guy for Gonzaga. I project Gonzaga only by a tenth. So I'm going to pick the Gonzaga Bulldogs to win the 2024 WCC tournament, and I think that Gonzaga is going to end up as like a 7 or 8 seed that nobody wants to play. I mean, they could go as high as a 6, maybe. But they did have some bad losses this year. And they didn't have any marquee wins other than St. Mary's, really. So I could see them between like 6 and 8. St. Mary's as an at-large, I think, will... I know they've had some rough losses earlier in the year. I think St. Mary's, if it doesn't win the WCC tournament, I think it will be a 6 seed. That's funny. I think there's a chance both of them are 6 seeds, Gonzaga and St. Mary's. I'm going to say St. Mary's is a 6, Gonzaga is a 7. But if St. Mary's wins the tournament, I think they're a 5. And Gonzaga will be like an 8. Is there an avenue Gonzaga doesn't make the tournament? No. I think they're a lock. If they lose to in the semis to San Francisco or whoever, they'll probably be like a 10 seed or something like that. And I don't think anybody else in this league is going to be an at-large. And if St. Mary's loses in the semis, I think they drop to that 8-9 game. Considering the WCC this year isn't great. So, NIT candidates. I think San Francisco is an NIT team. And I think that's it. End the list. CBI, I think Santa Clara, San Diego. I mean, if San Francisco loses in the quarters, maybe that's a CBI. But I think San Diego and Santa Clara are CBI. San Francisco, NIT, and obviously the big 2 are going to be in the big dance. Most outstanding player of the tournament, I think, is going to be Ike. That's kind of obvious because I picked Gonzaga to win this tournament. FanDuel, value to win the tournament. Gonzaga's probably favored over St. Mary's. I think they're both under 2-1. Maybe St. Mary's maybe a little bit over 2-1, but let's look right now. So WCC. Gonzaga's minus 125. St. Mary's is plus 110. San Fran's 13. Santa Clara's 30. Loyola's 200. Portland's 250. So is San Diego, and Pacific and Pepperdine are also 250. There's a couple teams that I think have some value in this tournament as long shots. And it's funny. This team just got rid of its coach. I'm not saying they're going to win the tournament, but it's just fun to have a number, 250 to 1 ticket, and all of a sudden they're in the quarters and you could hedge it, and that's Pepperdine. I mean, Pepperdine should beat Pacific, and they will. They can upset San Diego. And all of a sudden, and then you could just hedge it and bet on Santa Clara and parlay Santa Clara with some other teams. So value is on Pepperdine at 250 to 1, amazingly enough. But I'll throw Gonzaga in with Drake and with Morehead State, and some of these other teams potentially as well. So there you have it for the WCC tournament. We're going to come out with more conference tournaments tomorrow. We have to do the Big Sky. But tomorrow we'll do CAA, Southern. That's a good one. And there's one more. America East, we'll do soon. So let's see. CAA. The Summit League in SoCon. So we have 3 tomorrow to do. And then America East we'll do Thursday. And the Big Sky will do Thursday. And we're going to do a lot more of them on Thursday as well. So something else that we have to discuss real quick for West Coast Conference, which I forgot to do, was coaching stuff. Randy Bennett and Mark Few are going to stay at their jobs. Chris Grolfson at San Francisco's done a great job. Maybe he jumps. Another one is Herb Sendick of Santa Clara. He's done a great job developing those guys. I think even Steve Lavin at San Diego, I think, has done a good enough job to get a bigger job. On the flip side, hot seat, we know Lorenzo Romer got fired at Pepperdine. I think that Stan Johnson's in trouble at Merrimack. Shante Lagans maybe at Portland, and Leonard Perry at Pacific. So I think there's a couple hot seat coaches in the WCC within the bottom 4 schools. And then the 3 through 5 schools, I think, all have coaches that are candidates to bounce for other schools. And like I said, it's so hard to call for next season. Gonzaga and St. Mary's are going to be up there. Santa Clara is always developing people. Maybe Pepperdine with the new coaches in the middle of the conference rather than the back end. And don't forget, this conference next year gets Oregon State and Wazoo. So Wazoo is going to be a challenger for that league next year too. And who knows about Oregon State? They're rebuilding. There you have it officially for the West Coast. And then the 3 leagues I mentioned earlier will be the 3 leagues we do tomorrow.